Hello, hello, my friends. It's Sonia here with Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company, and welcome to episode number 72, and it's September 7th, 2021. I always find it super important to timestamp these because I never know when people are listening to these podcasts. And I know personally when I come across some podcasts that I absolutely love, I'd like to know the timestamp. I'd like to have an idea when it was recorded and how relevant that information was then. So that's my why. That's why I do that. How was your weekend? We're coming off the tail end of summer, right? Where did it go? What did you do? You're going to love today's episode. I'd love for you to just sit down and embrace it. I'm not sure if you're going to be taking a lot of notes. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But the premise for today's episode was inspired by my weekend this weekend. And it's something that's been in my mind over the last couple of years. Essentially, it goes like this. When was the last time you did something for the first time? Think about that for a moment. I came across this saying quite a while ago. And as I mentioned, it's been on my mind for a couple of years now. And I really have been noting my first. And here's why. Because most of the things that were first happened so very long ago. They no longer seem relevant to my current narrative. So like when I first rode a bike, when I had my first kiss, when I had my first date, when I had my first job, when I wrote my first exam, but the story I'm living now is completely irrelevant to those first. Perhaps the whole point of this question, when was the first time you when was the last time you did something for the first time, is making you think about where you're at in terms of your journey and what you bring that's exciting to the table. So let's just, my inspiration, like I mentioned, came from this weekend. I met up with an old girlfriend and we caught up as if we'd never missed a beat of time. And I love it when I have those relationships with my girlfriends. And literally it's been about 10 years since we've seen each other. We've been in touch on social media. But we decided to get together for a bike ride, and we rode our bikes on a route unknown. We kind of generally knew how to get there, and yes, we could have used our Google Maps, which we did on the way back, but I just kind of went, yeah, let's go on the way there. And we rode our bikes to a local winery. So, two things. Riding our bikes to the winery itself is brand new, but the winery earlier this year was new for me. So those are two of the new experiences that I've had for the first time. Not that I've never been to a winery, but I've never been to a winery so close to home before. I've never rode my bike to a winery before. That in itself is new. So that's what inspired me, because we were talking about that on our bike ride, and she couldn't think about how long it's been since she's done something for the first time. I make a conscious effort of it regularly throughout my year. And today we're going to dive into that a little bit more. Because as I mentioned, prior to being mindful to doing new experiences over and over again, like different experiences, but making new experience the project, it's interesting, right? When you think about when was the first time you did something? When was the last time you did something for the first time? So I really want you to think about that today. Where are you at? Have you done something to push the envelope? Because when we start to push ourselves outside our comfort zone, your growth becomes bigger. You get accustomed and you accommodate to new things, which is great, but it also means that you even want to do more. You want to take bigger risks. So whether it's jumping into a class, education, listening to podcasts, writing podcasts, or preparing to write your podcast so you can say them, we're going to dig into some of this today as to your why. So, you ready? Let's get started. Most of our firsts have happened so very long ago, as we mentioned earlier. But if you bring that closer to now, closer to the present, and when you think of different things, what is it that excites you? Is it trying a new restaurant? Is it wearing different clothes? What is it that would make you feel proud? So thinking of the things that surprise you or that you've not done yet should bring the realization that you should be very proud of yourself, especially when you go back and think about what you have accomplished. It doesn't matter if these are personal or professional goals. It's the challenge of doing something for the first time. Do you take time to make yourself feel the pride and the satisfaction that comes from accomplishing something different or difficult for the first time? Believe me, it's an awesome feeling. It doesn't matter how hard those hills were this weekend. We did it. We got there. We sat there for 3 hours and caught up. Even catching up with an old girlfriend in itself was something for the first time. It's been a long time, right? So now that you are thinking about pushing yourself outside your comfort zone, we're going to go a little bit deeper on that because it means that you're going to be able to expand in so many other areas of your life. Whether this is cooking or crafting or selling or reaching some financial goals, whatever it looks like. So personally, my goal is to do something outside of my comfort zone every single month. Now, I did something earlier this month. I did a big thing. I signed up with a new coach. The financial commitment is outside my comfort zone. At that level of commitment, I know I am personally and professionally investing in myself. I know I will get 10 times my investment back. I know I will be able to help others, even more so as I'm up-leveling and elevating my own life. However, it's fearful. And that's what happens when we step outside our comfort zone. We're never going to grow where we're at. We've talked about this in the past. Every single decision that you have made has brought you to exactly where you are right now, in this moment. The clothes that you're wearing, the way you're wearing your hair, the way you're wearing your makeup, the music you choose to listen to, all of these are comfortable. All of these things are decisions that you have made in the past. You may have chose your outfit today or your hairstyle today, but you wouldn't be picking that if it wasn't safe, if it wasn't something you're already comfortable with. That's probably why the majority of most people's closet is black. And I know we've talked about this in a different episode, and we'll certainly hone in a little bit on this in the future again, but today's episode isn't your color palette, although I am wearing gray, a cute flowy gray short sleeve tee, if you would. It's not really a tee. It's more like a cross between a blouse and a t-shirt, and but it's neither nor. And a pair of Zaya leggings, and it's my own unique style. It totally suits me. But I remember a year ago, I was working with a different coach, and I couldn't even feel comfortable in my clothes because it wasn't speaking to me. It wasn't what I needed. I needed something flowy. I needed something different. And this is what today's episode is going to open up. You know, trying something for the first time is going to help you grow into the direction. So my personal goal is to continue to do what I can do and to try something different every single month for the first time. And that's going on my habit tracker. It doesn't have to be big. For those that have been following me on social media, you know that I have been setting myself for a challenge, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get it all done this year or not because I kind of lost track of it, but it's to cook 52 new recipes. I'm at recipe number 7. Now, I normally reach the goals I set for myself, but trying 52 new recipes is definitely stepping myself out of my comfort zone in many different ways, right? I'm not eating the same old. I am trying something different. I might like it. I'm sure I will like it. I'm sure I'm going to eat it again, which makes it adding to my mix of foods, which means there's less room for trying something new if I expand my palate to more and more things that I'm comfortable with. But the point is, don't think of this as just personal or professional. Be creative here because it doesn't have to be a big thing every time. It can be little things that are going to have the biggest impact. Let's go back to cooking. Over the course of trying 52 different things, I love mango salsa now. Eating mango salsa when I make fish makes my fish taste so much better that I'm going to want to eat more fish. Well, eating fish is healthier food, right? So these little things are going to have a big difference in your life, a big impact. The point is to keep growing and expanding as a person. And it all starts with this simple question. When was the last time you did something for the first time? Think about that. Okay. There is another source of inspiration, and it's a quote I got from The Third Door. It's called "The city of my dreams didn't exist, so I set out to build it." And it's along the same line. So we're just going to expand this a little bit further and talk about, if what you're looking for doesn't exist, go and create it. The author of the book, The Third Door, is Alex Banneman, and it's a book I've been unable to get out of my head. As I journal each day, I think about this. I find myself writing and using the subject as unknown because I'm not sure yet where this is going to take me. I'm not sure if I can do it. What if it doesn't work out? How long will it take? Maybe I'm not good enough to achieve ... Here's why this ties into when was the last time you did something for the first time. We tend to set limitations for ourselves before we even begin. We set these limitations, again, based on our past and our comfort zone. Instead of you setting yourself up for success, you end up preparing yourself for failure. Hence those questions we just went over. I keep thinking about this. I think about in relation to my own journey, how I am today, and who I want to be in the future. I recently had a conversation with my mom over the weekend, and we were talking about my kids, and I was informed, and don't throw anything at my kids, don't be upset, they're teenagers going through their own journey, early adults actually, in their early 20s, not teenagers, and I'm not saying it's one or all because I don't want to categorize them all together, I know that's not fair, but my mom had said to me, your kids kind of get frustrated that you talk about your goals, your achievements, your success, what you're up to. And I said to my mom, I said, okay, I can respect that. But what's wrong with me sharing my successes? What's wrong with me reaching my dreams and being proud of myself? Oh, well, they want you to just be their mom. Okay, but I am their mom. I am their mom and I'm here for them. But why can't I be both? And that stopped her in her tracks. My kids, with the exception of my youngest, they all live in their own spaces. They're all living their own life. Personally, I truly believe I am leading by example. They might not see it yet, but I'm not going to course correct and stop chasing my personal dreams of being what I want to be. That legacy. I want something to be left behind for when they're ready to grow into that next chapter. They can tap into these resources. Yes, I'm still a mom. Yes, I still spend time with my children and went for lunch with my middle daughter this weekend, spent plenty of time with my youngest this weekend, hung out with my oldest and my grandson this weekend, still went golfing, still met with my dad and my brother and my husband, still went to, met up with my girlfriend and we went and did something for the first time, still went to the farmer's market with my mom, still read a book, still did gardening, still got things done around the house. Just because this is different, just because this is an uncharted course, I don't want you to let anybody else's opinions or judgment get in the way of you accomplishing your dreams. It was really crippling to hear that message because what am I supposed to do to please other people? No, it's not about pleasing other people. I am still in their life. I'm still working, and I still spend a lot of time to my family. So my reaction was, why can't I be both? And that made my mom pause and think because it is different. And many of you, especially after listening to today's episode and getting inspired for what might be holding you back and for doing something different for the first time, you're going through other people's stories. You're going through other people's limiting beliefs. You are wearing multiple hats and you are trying to push out of your comfort zone so you can make it to that next level. Those limitations aren't set by you. They're set by other people. So what you need to do is remind yourself daily why it's important for you to chase your dreams. For me, it's absolutely critical to chase my dreams. Not to the fact that I want to risk my family. Of course not. But I'm not going to sit here and stay stagnant and not live my own life while they're out living theirs. That is what prior generations do. Not me. I am leaving a legacy behind, guys. If something were to happen to me tomorrow, part of my legacy is I know I'm an influencer. I know I've helped thousands of people up level and elevated their lives. And I want that same for you. What does it look like? I know if something were to happen to me tomorrow, you could go on YouTube or you can listen to my podcast. You can, not you, but my family could listen to me every single day. I've left that for them. When I think of what I want to accomplish in my life, I think of my end of life. And for anybody that wants a true visual on this, definitely reach out. I'll go over it with you. But here's a quick snapshot. Put your arms out. And I haven't done this in a long time. Put your arms out. Completely stretch them as if you're doing a lateral raise. Okay, so your arms are completely lifted to the side. Your left hand is going in one direction and your right hand is going in the other direction. If you look back to your past fingertips all the way to your left, that's your birth. Your fingertips to your wrist, that's your birth. Now make your way all the way up to your shoulder and your head. That's exactly where you're at now. When we look to the left, there were many things we've accomplished in our past. We had our first child. Perhaps we got married. We graduated high school. We wrote our first exam. We rode a bike. If you go all the way back, there were many, many, many landmarks and uphill battles that we weren't sure if we were going to make it through the bottom of that hill. But here's the good news, guys. We are front and center. Right now our arms are still out. We're front and center. In your head, where your head is at right now, in the middle of your journey, is because you have survived every single thing you've gone through in your past. You have made it. Okay, you with me? Now keep those arms extended. Look all the way to the right. Wiggle your fingers to the right. That, your wiggling of your fingers, that is your end of life. That is somebody standing up. So your wrist to your fingers. Your wrist is you passing on. Your fingers is somebody standing up at your funeral and saying your eulogy. What do you want them to say? What are you leaving behind? Oh, she was a great mother. Oh, she was a great worker. Oh, she had a beautiful home. Her house was very clean. She had an impeccable garden. She had amazing kids. Keep going. What do you want them to say for your eulogy? So we're not done with our right hand, okay? So our right hand should still be extended. The only thing we know between now and then, well, there's two things for sure. The number one thing, there will be an end. There will be an end. You will eventually make it to your wrist. But we don't know when that's going to happen. We really don't know when that's going to happen. But what we do know, this is the second thing, is that there will be other things along the way, other hills that we need to make it over, other mountains that we need to go around, climb over, dig under, other roadblocks, whatever you want to label it. There will be more. You have survived all of them. You will survive more. You will get there. But as you're going through that journey, what legacy are you leaving behind? My legacy right now, and I am not saying this to boast, please, I am saying this to motivate and encourage. When we are living in our comfort zone, what legacy are we leaving behind? I'm an international award-winning best-selling author right now. I'm a podcaster. I'm on YouTube. I'm an influencer. I'm a healthy eating and weight loss coach. I'm a personal trainer. I am a mindset coach. I do things like inspire others on a regular basis to live their very best life. That in itself is inspiring. That in itself motivates me. What did we just talk about at the very beginning of today's episode? I do things that I've never done before every single day, every single week, every single month, whatever it looks like, I add that into my life. So when we set limitations for ourselves, what kind of legacy are we leaving behind? Really think about that. Think of those obstacles. Think of what you've gone through. Think of what you want to leave behind. And we're not being morbid, but we're putting the end first. This is why it's so important for me to reach my financial goals, so I can spend more time with my family. Once Yeah, it seems like I'm doing a lot of different things now, right? As a multi-passionate entrepreneur, I have my hands in many pots. It's part of my personality. I've shared this with Tony before when he's tried to get me to focus or to slow down or to change directions or just have a conversation with me about it. But my biggest feedback to him is, but why? I'm happy. And he's like, oh, I am a very happy person because I do all of these things. So what's holding you back from doing these things? Is it your mindset? Are those thoughts, are those questions of being unsure of what the future is going to bring you? Those terrifying questions. You're not sure if you can do it. What if it doesn't work out? How long will it take? Maybe I won't be good enough to achieve it. I want you to think about these questions in terms of your goals, in terms of when was the last time you did something for the last time? When was it that you have created your best life? And it doesn't matter if this comes into personal or professional development. Whatever you invest in yourself on a personal or professional development side, you get back 10 times that. Just so you know. Okay? Tony Robbins has quoted that before. Many, many, many international influencers have commented on the fact that whatever you put into your life, you get back 10 times the amount. Why? Why are we tiptoeing through life to safely arrive at our final destination? Why? Because we want a eulogy that's safe and just like everybody else's? Not me. I'm going out in a blaze of glory. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I'm going to be doing something I love. For sure. For sure. And continuing to reach your dreams and desires, continuing to challenge yourself, continuing to grow will help you glow. So, of course, this means struggle because this means something new. So I've put together a little bit more information for you that I really want you to hone in on because those questions, those negative thoughts don't have to be your storyline. That's one view you can choose to have. You can have the choice of the unknown as a barrier preventing you from leveling up in your life. Or you can look at it as an opportunity to rise above it. You can walk through whichever door is safest. Or you can step through something new and see what's on the other side. I know it's scary to unlock that door or to see if it's locked or unlocked. It's a test. There's always a test when you try something new to see how badly you really want it. It's a filter to screen out those who are committed versus those who are determined. Because if you want to live the life of your dreams, you only need to commit to it versus the other people that are unwilling to do it. So if you're looking to start a business, start a business. To transform your body, start today. Upgrade your mindset, strengthen your relationship. It's always easier to do the same. The unknown is the door separating you from who you are versus who you could be. It's taking that path that's unknown. And it's up to you to take a step forward or not. Will you do that with uncertainty? Will you sit there and wonder forever, taking the safe bet, having that safe eulogy at the end of the day? Or will you step beyond it and find the answers? These answers are completely up to you. You're the one that takes on all of the responsibility for your future life. If you wonder, you want it. If you can think it, you can have it. Will it come easy? No. Will it be painful? Maybe. But every single thing that you think about, you can accomplish. Or you wouldn't have the thought. You wouldn't have the thought. Taking responsibility of your dreams will help you create the life that you want. So we don't just create abundance. It's always about being present. We create limitations for ourselves, not abundance. Because everything that you already want is already available to you. It's on the other side of that door. It's on that path when you choose to do something for the first time. All you have to do is take that first step because you are the only one setting those limitations. You don't have to take that first step alone, and I don't encourage it. I encourage you to lock arms with somebody. but I encourage you to get started. Because if you wonder, just back in that book, The Third Door, the answer is yes. If you wonder if you can be a successful entrepreneur making $10,000 a month, yes. And why is that number so important to you? You might not know that yet, but the fact of the matter is it is important. That is my magic number. That is my goal. That is why I hired a coach. I want to get there. So how do you turn wonder into certainty? Instead of inside the pages of The Third Door, we talk about the difference between being an exponential in a linear life. Linear life is what you're living right now. Most people live linear lives. They believe progress happens in tiny steps. Lose a little weight, get a little fitter, win that new promotion, enjoy a 3% pay raise. You inch along in life where there are some people that are jumping at 2 times, 10 times, 100 times their lives in 1 year. They don't live linear lives. They live exponential lives. No ceilings, no tiny steps. Why? Why are some people jumping ahead? It all comes down to you. An exponential life is available to you, but you don't think big enough. You don't invest. You are scared. You don't dream big enough. And here's why at the end of the day, because truly you don't believe it's possible. You see the unknown as an impossible obstacle instead of an opportunity to break free. If you wonder, the answer is yes. You have all you need to make it happen. You just need to get out of your own way. Try something new for the first time. Invest in something different. Take a different path. Just do it. Do something, make a step, and then another. You are ready. You are ready to step through that door and see what's on the other side. Because here's the thing. Life is full of uncertainty. We don't know what to expect. We do know there's an end. We know that there's a new eulogy. We know there are more mountains to climb. But when you look at it with life being full of uncertainty, and whatever you choose to do, the uncertainty is still going to be there. But although stepping through that first door may be terrifying, or saying yes, is it any better than feeling worse by being trapped behind it? That's a great question to ask yourself. I've got a couple more questions for you. Today's not done with questions. I just really, really, really want you to think about that today, because growth is what keeps us alive. And it's a life constantly throwing new opportunities that make us grow. When we embrace growth, as hard as it is, the only thing that stands in our way is our ego. So I want you to think about this. It might go wrong. It might work out to the contrary. We might fail. We might hurt ourselves or someone else. We might not be perfect with it at first when we try. We might lose something or everything. We might be rejected. We might not like it. We might be mocked, ridiculed, chastised, or punished. But fear keeps us in our comfort zone. It's home base for the autopilot. Living on autopilot in our comfort zone, our life of energy is slowly being snapped. When we stay in our comfort zone, we are not doing things for the first time. We're not exploring, investigating, learning anything new, and we are certainly not growing. So holding on to those false beliefs, we're not going to do anything that makes us feel alive and thrive. So the gap between not doing and doing is bridged by just one step that we have to take to get out of our comfort zone. Breaking through our false fears. And it's not because things that are difficult that we do not dare. It's because we do not dare that things are difficult. So one step that can give us the momentum to just do and try to do something for the first time. It's just that one step. And then we find out when we take that first step that it works out well, that it isn't scary or difficult at all, that we're learning a new skill, that we're actually good at it, that we're getting praised for it and loved, that we're not losing anything, that we're gaining confidence and courage through it. We feel accomplished. More importantly, we feel alive. And when we feel alive, we want more. So the more often we step out of our comfort zones and try something new, the easier it gets to motivate ourselves to do it over and over again. My gosh. I remember the first time I did the first podcast, and look where we're at now. So when it comes time to picking what we want to do for the first time, take that step and try new things. There are no ends to our possibility. And as your takeaway today, a little bit of tactical implementation, I've got a couple of ideas for you, okay? New places to visit, foods to try, new styles to wear, new genres of music to listen to, books, art, media, clothes, new hobbies, frivolous skills, random knowledge, exercise, creative projects, home-based products, or homemade products, whichever. Anything that we've dismissed from our lives because we believe it was too silly, too expensive, too far, too frivolous, too difficult, too scary, or because we were too young or too old for it. Who told you those things? How about all the stuff we never did because our parents or partner would never approve? Or what would the neighbors think? Or you'd be a fool of yourself. Or you've never done that before. You just simply have never done that before. How about the dreams that we are sitting there thinking about, wondering, what if I accomplished the $10,000 a month? Do you know what that means for me? Ultimately, it means I can work on more passive and residual income. It means I can have more time with my family. It means I can go on more adventures with them. It means I can cook more with my mom. It means I can spend more time with my grandson. It means I can spend more time with my children. That's what that means like to me. It's not a number that I need for my bank account. It's a number I want for my lifestyle. It means I have more choices. It means I can help more people in my business at different price points. It means I can bring in more services to help more people. It means I can volunteer more. Okay? So stuff we've never done because other people didn't approve or be worried about making a fool of ourselves, those are huge. How about the things we've dreamt of? Things we dream of doing when we were young, but we had never gotten serious. We never made the money. Money doesn't make us happy, but it's the journey to achieving that happy or that money. So for me, that's not making the $10,000 a month that I'm looking to achieve. It's not the financial goal. That's a representation of what the life will give me. The little things make us feel good, but we just don't bother because we think we're not worth it. Whether it's wearing a tiara or your hair in braids or going uphill on a bike. So the choices that we've made, the viewpoints, the behaviors, the thoughts we never had because they didn't fit our beliefs of ourselves. I'm not that kind of person. How about the fixture for your house? How about the image? Guys, take a deep breath right here, right now. Bring it in. And let all of that go. I challenge you this week to do something you've never done before. I challenge you to honor your creative talents that were put on hold for your career or your family or your life. Because you don't want to die with that music still in you. You want to meet new people, do new things, do one scary step today to bring you closer and closer to your dreams. Are you feeling inspired yet? Awesome. I want to hear from you. Drop me a line. Definitely try something. Do one of our quizzes or assessments on the link tree that I'll be posting. What are you going to do for the first time? Because the best part is we can start today. Remember what we talked about earlier. If you can dream it, you can do it. We're going to get there together, my friends. I promise. Have yourself a fantastic, fantastic week. And thank you for being a part of my show and for listening and for reading these points. And if you have any questions about how you want to level up, add them to the comments and I would be pleased to answer them for you.